Welcome to week 4, the final week, bonus video 1. I'd like to share a couple, did I actually just say that? I'd like to share a couple things with you this week about Bridge, because this bonus video is about sharing. In fact, I'm going to focus on cloud sharing in the first bonus video. Cloud sharing. These images that we're going to share will not reside on your hard drive, right, or a thumb drive or an external drive. No, they're up on the cloud, whatever that means. What that means is on somebody else's hard drive. In fact, it's going to be on Adobe's hard drive. That's what I'm going to show you. You, as a part of your Creative Cloud subscription, have access to some hard drive space on Adobe's servers, and that's where we're going to share today. Now, as a Creative Cloud subscriber, you don't buy the softwares one-off like we used to do, right? You have access, and let me show you. I'm going to go up and click on the Creative Cloud icon, and when I do that, I can go up and I can see all my, notice where I'm clicking, all my apps. And so I'm looking at all my apps, and these are the apps that I have installed, that I've downloaded, right? Because I've subscribed to the entire Adobe Creative Suite. Now, you may not have done that. You may have only subscribed to a small subset of this. Adobe offers several packages of photographer, right? You just get Lightroom and Photoshop. Listen to me. When you get the Lightroom and Photoshop combo, you always also get Bridge. You always get Bridge. In fact, you can buy an Adobe Illustrator. You can subscribe to Illustrator for $9.99 a month. But it too comes with Bridge. Every subscription comes with Bridge. Why? Because Bridge is a hub of sorts for all the Adobe apps. It's bigger than you think, and we're going to bump into, in the very last video of the whole series, week 4, bonus video 4, I'm going to show you that final linchpin in the entire thing, why Bridge is so important. So here we go. My Creative Cloud, and you'll notice that when I'm looking at this little window for the Creative Cloud, I've got apps, I've got my work. We'll come back to that. I have Discover. I love Discovery. I have the Marketplace, where I can go find extra software that software vendors and developers have created that will help plug into, work with the rest of my, or even individual Creative Cloud apps. I'm going to keep sliding to the right. I'm looking at my desktop available apps, meaning apps that can be put on my computer, as opposed to apps that are only mobile apps. And you'll see a lot of these apps have mobile equivalents, right? Web-only apps. Here's something called Portfolio. I guess that's interesting. Hey, where have I seen that before? Oh, I remember where I saw that. I saw that over here. Under apps, I saw apps and updates, and then categories of Creative Cloud software. Photos. I guess that's not where I saw Portfolio. No, I'm going to keep reading. Graphic design apps like InDesign, Adobe Illustrator, video apps, illustration apps. You get the idea. But if you keep going all the way to the bottom, where you would almost not go because it's just like too much work. You've already seen so much. Your brain is full. But at the bottom, stock, Adobe Stock. You could upload and sell your photos on Adobe Stock. I have images for sale up there. Now, I don't make a lot of money. It's chump change, but I like having chump change. Tutorials. That's where I saw Portfolio again, right there. Remember that. And Behance. Unless you're mistrained, and then you might call that Behance. Behance. It's Behance. And then the forums. Go online, learn, grow, and wine. W-H-I-N-E. We've talked about some of that. All right, so Remember, I'm on the Creative Cloud hub, the Creative Cloud baby app. And if you don't have that, up in your menu item, you'll find that out in your applications folder, the Adobe Creative Cloud app. I'm on a Mac, so here it's at the bottom. But that's what I accessed by going to that little C. Oh, that forms a cloud. How clever. That's the icon, right? Your Creative Cloud icon in the menu items. Okay, I'm gonna quit that. It stays open in the background, so I'm gonna say let it. And we're gonna go into Bridge for some cloud sharing. Where is the cloud? It's on Adobe's servers. You paid for it. You are paying for it monthly with your Creative Cloud subscription. Back to Bridge. Hey, I'm in Bridge, and just to make sure I can see everything where I'm used to seeing everything, I'm going to do what I told you. I'm practicing what I preached. I'm going to go to my window workspace and make sure that I'm in Rick's workspace of choice. That's mine. Now, I'm going to introduce you a little later to a workspace we haven't seen that you and I didn't make, but you and I both have because Adobe made it for us later, called the Output workspace. We'll come back to that. Now, there are lots of ways I can share. Let's show you. I've got an extra video coming up. The next video, in fact, bonus video 2, is going to explain how to export images in batches. It's not batch. It's here under image processor. It's coming up in another video and second video. And I have a window that is export. The export panel. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in that right now. There's also a panel for publish, and I am going to spend some time in it here and in the next video because I want you to see that in the publish panel there are 2 quick cloud sharing items. Now, I like both of these, but neither of these are my favorite. I like these. I'll give these a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10, but the one I would give a 9.5 to is where I'm going to spend the bulk of my time in this video, but I do want to point these out to you. I'm going to grab a couple of images and I want to put them in my portfolio. In fact, let's just go find something that's not in my portfolio. But here's how you do it, and this is the glitch, this is the catch here. You can't, you would think, just select a bunch of images and drag and drop to the Adobe Portfolio icon. It doesn't work that way. You have to click Adobe Portfolio first, and now you get to do what you thought you could do, drag. And so if I grab some images, and I'm going to hold the Command key and select and that one, the Command or Control key on the PC, just this or that. I'm going to take those and I'm going to drag and drop them to the portfolio. Look how easy it is to share your photos on your own custom website. That's what I'm doing. And listen, you are currently in the midst of, in the throes of, nearly done with a course called The Ultimate Guide to Adobe Bridge. Now, you may not like what the tour looks like from start to finish. You may not like where you end up at the end, but I do want you to understand fully that you are seeing the ultimate guide to Adobe Bridge. There is no other guide anywhere that walks you through as much as I'm walking you through. In fact, I'm walking you through everything. It's the ultimate guide. If you don't see it from me, it's not in there. Okay? And some of you were catching on to that. But I'm showing you everything, including how to make a quick website or web portfolio. It's called portfolio, but you could just call it website. This is not going to make all of you 1,000% happy, but it's going to make 90% of you 93% happy. It's fantastic. You don't have to build a website. Here we go. Enough talk. Project title, BPSOP. Let's just do that. But What am I looking at? I'm looking at, here, Bubbly. So just so that you know it's happening live, I'm going to add Bubbly. It's saying the first image that I select is probably going to be my cover photo for the web portfolio, but you could click and make any other photo the cover photo. All right, I'll keep it there. It's pretty simple. I'm not really doing much. I titled it. I chose a cover photo. Also show on Behance. Now Behance is a cloud sharing space mostly for creatives. Creatives of all sorts share their wares up there. It's not really a client sharing space, but this website will be. It could be. So I'm saying, and also share it with my other creative peers on Behance. Behance. I'm doing that. All right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say, do it. Upload it. And notice it's telling me, hey, your selection are raw files. But the web portfolio and Behance won't take raw files. And so it's going to automatically convert them to JPEGs on the way up. Awesome. Okay. Did you see how fast that was? I talked 12 times longer than it took to click. And so it's uploading to the creative or to the Adobe portfolio. Now, quickly, I have to show you at the bottom of the panel, learn more about Adobe portfolio. You want to. This is not an Adobe portfolio course. It's a bridge course. And so as a part of Bridge, I'm showing you this, but you could go learn more. And if you click that, it'll take you to the web and explain with tutorials and more pages, all kinds of goodies about the Adobe portfolio app. All right, it's online. Now, that other item that we had seen earlier there in that publish panel was the stock. So Adobe stock. And if you are ready to take these same images and drag and drop them up to the Adobe stock website, Adobe have built a site for you where you can actually earn money. It's not much. Where they will market, they will sell. But keywords you've used here help you get searched and found there, okay? We're going to let that roll, and I'm going to sneak out to the internet. And I'm on my portfolio. Now, I don't see my new page yet. Yeah, I know. It's still upload. Oh, it was still uploading in Bridge, and now it says, you're almost done. You want to look at it? Oh, so if I didn't already have a bookmark to it, when this portfolio is up, I can say, yeah, go to the portfolio. Now, I just showed it to you before it was ready, and there were only 2 icons. But now, there's also BPSOP Bubbly. It's at the top. And those are the images. I just published my portfolio to a website. And I can select that link and copy it and go paste that in an email or text message and share it with my potential customers and friends. All right, that's how it works. Now, well, sort of. You're not done yet. If you leave, it's not ready for prime time. So pay close attention. It was easy to make. I waited. It took me to the link. I saw it. But that link is a preview. I'm just looking. I have to look down and click the button that says update the live site. This has only been a preview for editing. So I update it. Now you're done. Now you're done. View your site or go back and edit your site. View your site. Here is my real bookmarkable. Oh, it was much easier address than I saw a moment ago too. And so that's the page I bookmark. That's the page I bookmark. In my browser, that's the link I give my customers. And we're ready to roll. Okay, portfolio. What's to complain about? It's amazing. Now, if you want something more powerful, let me say it another way. If you want something more money, gonna cost you more money, there are options. Okay, you could, and so let me take you back to Bridge. In fact, forget Bridge. I'm gonna go back to the Creative Cloud hub. I'll do this often. I'm gonna go back to the hub, and instead of apps or your work, I'm gonna click your work. And in your work, I can look at something called libraries. I'm getting ready to go there. That's my favorite. But I could also click on the next button and show my cloud documents or things that have been shared with me. And so there's a lot going on up here. I'm going to keep reading. Discover. I love discovering. There are other things I could discover. What topics interest you? They want to help teach you. Yeah. Marketplace. I mentioned this earlier. I'm going to go look at the marketplace, and I'm interested in, follow my cursor here, libraries. We're going to come back. Stock photos. They want to sell me everybody's stock photos there. Fonts. But in the marketplace, I can look for cool stuff. But they're not all here under libraries. Look up. There's a little Lego block. Don't step on that. And it looks, like a Lego, but they call those plugins. And plugins, featured plugins they're trying to sell. Get this one for free. Buy that one for $40. Here's a free one. There's a free one. All plugins, please. And when you come to all plugins, you can ask for plugins for Photoshop alone. Hi, Mom. My mom just texted me. You can go to plugins for Photoshop or InDesign or Lightroom or Illustrator or, of course, you guessed it, Bridge. And so if I go there is a plugin. It plugs into Bridge. It gives it extra features. If you've already subscribed or want to subscribe to a website for photographers, in this example, something called SlickPick. SlickPick, you can find it, I'm sure, slickpick.com. And there's an extension for Adobe Bridge, and I've installed it as an example for you here. Okay, so I found it up here in the marketplace. I clicked on Bridge Search. I found that. I installed that. I went, what's it do? I read the directions, and it says, if you go to Bridge, remember earlier I went up to the workspace and I reset my workspace. I chose my workspace. Well, look what's right below that. A shortcut to what I just showed you. Hey, let's go find some extensions on the Adobe Exchange. That's the marketplace. And I can go hunt there for extensions. But let's say I just found that one, SlickPick. It loads here. Oh, hello, Bridge. And that's where it installed for me. Now I had to quit Bridge to run the installer, but the next time I open Bridge, it's waiting for me. All right, so it is a higher powered, more money Adobe portfolio sort of thing, but you've got the Adobe portfolio for free, and I've shown you how you can go find extensions. All right, the stock contributor, same thing. Click it, drag and drop so that you can become an Adobe stock contributor. They're picky. They'll reject many images before they take one, but that's how you could do it from Bridge. You don't have to do it from Bridge. You can do it live on the internet if you want, but there's a link to those cloud services. Okay. Here's what I really want to show you. Now notice I've got publish and export, and I'm going to go reset my workspace. And now I'm back down to my original 3 tabs here. It says favorites, collections. Oh, and libraries. Libraries is my favorite cloud share for a couple of reasons. It's easy, it's free, Well, it's paid for in your subscription. And it's Adobe's way to let all of their apps share between all of their apps. And so if I put something in my library, watch. Let's go take something we would really recognize. Let me take Me Wrestling Me. And I'm going to drag and drop it to the library panel. Now, if I drag my metadata panel down a little bit, I can watch what's happening. I can see a little bit more of what's going on. And so I see that it's currently uploading something called 4B arm wrestling. And below that, there's a guy in a red shirt. A guy in a red shirt and some other stuff. I'll recognize some of those things. Now, the cloud, the library, it belongs to Adobe's server. So when wait a minute, I just came over to Photoshop and Photoshop has a library panel also. And when I came here, I noticed that something called 4B arm wrestling is uploading. And below that, there's a guy in a red shirt. And this is a panel that is shared by the Adobe apps. So whatever you do in one, it's accessible from any other. If I go to InDesign, Adobe InDesign, I'm working on a page layout for a magazine or a proposal. Oh, look, there's a CC library. Now this is a little funny, but in InDesign, they don't put it under L for library. It's under CC library. It's just them. Can't these people get along? And you'll notice that it's uploading here as well. And I can access any of these. If I want to take the guy in the red shirt and use it, I'm going to drag and drop it out of the library that I just came from Bridge and stick him here. That came from Bridge. That's one way. Okay? Let's go back. In Photoshop, if I look at an image, this looks kind of cool. What is this? Double click it. And when I double click it, even though it came from Bridge, and maybe not even this computer's Bridge, let me tell you what I mean. Look, if I want to get it from Bridge to Photoshop, I can do that right here. But what if I'm on a computer at work and I want this image from Bridge? At work, I drag and drop it to the cloud, and by the time I come home, I'm ready. On my home computer, it's a shared bunch of cloud images. It gets better. No, I didn't get a call. I did say my mom just texted it, right? Hold on, Mom, I'll be right with you. But I'm going to sneak over here to my Adobe apps. And I have one here called B, which is short for Behance. And hey, look what just showed up on Behance. It says BPSOP Bubbly. Oh, that was cool. And if I click on the Creative Cloud app, oh look, there's a guy in a red shirt. Huh, how fun. And so on. Oh, this image, it's right there. Because whatever you share to the libraries travels. And you've got many, many, many access points. Bridge, Photoshop, Illustrator, if you care, InDesign, but not just you. All of your customers, any colleague you might need to work with, because you can share those libraries. How? I'm in my library panel, in any app. Bridge, Photoshop, it doesn't matter. I'm in, but it's a Bridge course, so let's go there. Going back to Bridge. And in my Bridge app, at the top, you're going to see I can Rick's CC library, I named it, and I shared it. And if you tap that, you can say, I want to share it with Barry Jones at whatever his email address is. Hey Barry, here are the links to your family's photos. Can Barry edit that? No way, dude. He can only view those. That's it. If I give him a real email address, It's waiting for me to make sure it's a real email address. And I can invite it. Now, don't email Barry because I just made up a name. And if I invite, boom, he gets an email with a link that he can click, and now he will be sharing. And if I look at the rest of your work on the Creative Cloud, if I see a Creative Cloud library and it has 2 or more profile pics over there, it's telling me that one's shared. This one is shared. This one has a globe. It's not just shared with 2 or 3 people, that's shared with the world. And I found that free library up on the Marketplace Exchange. And you're going to see that when you go to the Marketplace and you want to find libraries, all libraries, these are libraries that other people have created for us. What? Oh, I love that citrus pattern. I clicked it and it's taking me to whoever this is. And I want to follow that library. I'll have access to that library with a globe next to it. And I'll have access to all those patterns. It's a marvelous thing. That's my favorite thing, the CC libraries. It's marvelous. We share between apps. I'll quit Photoshop. I'm still in InDesign, quit. I'm in Illustrator. It's there too, the guy in the original, quit. And you can use that to share between you and your customers, you and your colleagues, or you and you between computers. My laptop to my desktop, my work computer to my home computer, my computer to my wife's computer. My mom just texted, I can't wait to get back and let her know I've got some new photos for her to see. Why? Because I could share that library with her. So that's useful to us. Back to Bridge. And I'm going to reset my workspace. The libraries is all you get right here. And then the output workspace. Window, output. Adobe built this for you and me. We both have it. We share it. And currently, before I go there, I'm looking at a collection called Portfolio. Here they all are. I've got 247 images in there. How do I know, by the way? Because it says so at the bottom. And there are 24 hidden things. And it's letting me know I'm indexing. Why? Because Bridge is always indexing. When you look at things, when you are looking, it's indexing those things. It's indexing. And if you hover, it'll tell you what it's doing specifically. 247 images, 24. I'm too slow. I'm going to go back. I'm indexing Bridge Pics Raw 2, the Chloe and Tanner reception folder, sneak peeks. That's where I'm currently indexing for you. Yeah, thanks. Anyway, back to output. Window, workspace, output. My portfolio or whatever I was viewing comes with me. It's on the bottom of this panel here. I'm looking at it. And the output workspace is for generating contact sheets as PDFs. Very useful. Now, I do this as a courtesy to my customers. Even if they're going to get my real photos, I'll generate a courtesy contact sheet and send it along as a PDF. And this is how I'm doing this. Okay, so let's walk through these settings. Pretty simple, pretty simple. You really don't need me for all this, but I want you to see it once. Okay, on the side of the panel, you see some subheads, document, grid margins, and so on. Now, the only reason that those are subheads is because those arrows are twisted. When they're open, it's sometimes hard to see that there are all these five various subheads. So I close them just for easy viewing. Let's start at the top. Document. What's the paper size of the document? Well, letter size sounds good to me. And there it is if you've forgotten. Wide or tall? Tall's good. Pick a background color. Pick a resolution. Now, sometimes I change the resolution down because I don't want somebody to think that they can run off and print this 300 pixel per inch image, but it's going to affect the view if I downsize it, right? I'm going to downsize it. Pixels per inch. It'll be lower quality, but they're smaller images. I just want the customer to get a look at them. They're going to utilize this as a catalog, see what they've got. That's your choice. I'm not telling you to make these 96. Image quality, it's going to create a PDF, and your images will be converted to JPEGs at a particular image quality. 12 is the highest. Don't ask me why it's not 10. And then you can drag it to 1. But 12 is the max. Oh, look, I proved it. 12 is the max. But they're starting you out at 8. They think that's sufficient for a contact sheet. You use your judgment. Thumbnail, should they start and go across, or should they come down and then make columns across? That's all that next set of buttons means. Or set of pull downs means. I'll show it to you again. I've got all my portfolio images down at the bottom. I'm going to do a select all and drag and drop. That's all you do. Drag and drop. Drag and drop. It just added 271 things. I only see one. Yeah, because Rick, you're on page 136. Wow. So I can go back to the beginning. There they all are, 2 up. 2 up. 2 at a time on that page. We'll come back. As I keep reading down that side, it says rotate for best fit. I click that. No effect on this image. Let's see if it does on this one. Nope. Every now and then you'll see an image will flip. You'll see that. Include file name? Yeah. Tour day 2. Don't include file name. Include the file extension. Oh, those are PSDs, or that's a DNG. Or don't include the file extension. Your call. Font, size, all the rest of it. I'm going to close that document chunk and come to the grid and margins chunk. Right now, it's 1 column, 2 rows. But I could say, ooh, I kind of want, 7 columns and 9 rows. And let's go back and see a page that gets, and it's live, it's dynamic. You can just type if you want. I want a 2x2. And if there's a group that you like, if there's some sort of setup that you like, once you fill all of this out, look back up and you see the word template. And there are several templates you could choose from. But I bet you don't have Rick's Edits. Why? No, because I made all of this at one point and I hit the plus sign and I saved it as Rick's Edits. I saved it as another contact sheet stuff. Okay? So you make your own and save what I'm showing you here. Header and footer. Is there something you'd like to show up at the top of every page in the PDF? Calendar 2022 sample pics. Yeah, I'm thinking you guys might want to use my images in your next calendar. I've titled it. Or you can put your name, right? Include a footer at the bottom. What's it say? It's going to say Rick Burress, let's say, of Artistec, with my phone number. What that's going to be on the footer. That'll be at the bottom of every page. So they'll know if they like this image, they can call me immediately. So a header is always on the top of every page, a footer is at the bottom. Include a page number. Well, with 68 pages now, I would like a page number. And so it's doing it. It's adding a page number automatically because this is checked in the center of the footer. I'm going to close that off. Watermark. Currently, these images themselves have no watermark, but I could add a watermark, a text watermark. I don't like this, but I'll do it. Big option C. How big? It's going to be really big, and it's currently black. And I'm going to say, oh, I want it to be uglier than that. So please make it white, and that'll be on every image. It's a watermark, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be even uglier. I'll just keep typing. Right? Now it's a little too big. Well, I'll play with that. You get the idea. And why is it putting it there? Well, it's because of this section right here. Placement. Upper left, upper right. in the middle. Oh my. At the bottom. Your call, your call. I think that's overkill for a contact sheet. I think it's overkill for a contact sheet PDF where my name is at the bottom of every page. Anyway, they know it's mine, no watermark, or image watermark. And I can select an image. There you go. I'll put my logo, and that's my logo saved as a PNG at the top, at the bottom, ugly in the middle, whatever. You get the idea. Okay, there it is. Now, if I like this, I'll save it, remember, as a custom. Boom. And I'm going to call it Artistec logo watermark. I know what that is. I know what that is. So I've saved that as a custom setup. Everything I've done so far is saved. Let's get to the bottom. PDF properties. Now, I have two reasons for doing this. Turning on security, turning on password protection. One is obvious, for password protection. And you could say to a mother and father, a family, hey, I know you have little kids, and so let's password protect this contact sheet. You could do that. I'm going to say, I need an opening password. They need a password to open it. And now type that in, RICKZ, right? And so they need that password in order to open the PDF I send them via email or put on my website or Dropbox or whatever it is, Google Docs. I use it for security purposes, but a second reason I do this is for credential purposes. It just makes me look more like a pro. I can market myself. No other photographer saying this to them, perhaps. Hey, I know you have little kids, and I want to consider their privacy. Your family's privacy is important to me. And so I'm going to password protect the contact sheet. It just sounds nice. It's impressive. It's a courtesy. Okay. Two reasons to do it. One, to really secure it, and two, to market yourself. You're doing it. You're adding value. Right? So that's opening password. But there's also a permissions password. They're separate, distinct. You can do both, or one or the other. And permission says they don't have permission to edit the file, delete a page, move pages around. But can they print? Well, it depends. Right here it says disable printing. If I turn that on, they can't even print the thing. They can just look at it. And let me know that on page 4032 portfolio is the one they want to buy. And then I send out the real images. Right? So these are options for you here. And then when you're finished, export to PDF. That's the output workspace. Now, when I'm finished using the output workspace, and by the way, I can change this current one by choosing any other template. It's reflowing. I want one photo dragged up, just one. Why? And there's a section here under document, repeat one photo per page. And that's very useful, isn't it? When I go to my grid and I say, well, I just want 3 across and 4 down. And so if I'm doing kids' school photos or something like that, right, we can print this out without the name of the images. I know what I've got. I don't need the file name, right? And repeat one per page is just saying, give me all these wallet size, for example, whatever. I'm telling you, you can build your own. And it's important when you finish with the output that you go back to Window Workspace, come back to your regular workspace setup, and get work done. All right, that's it. Bonus video 1. Bonus video 2 is going to be a quickie. It's really just 4 ways to export and save. We'll go there next.